Hi guys, it's Gareth from Human Fitness and Performance here. Alan's asked me to do a few videos to help out with the movement side of getting golfers moving and moving well. So thought we'd take this opportunity during lockdown to talk about a few of the different parts of our body that need to move and how we can get them moving. So in the video that you've got attached to this from Alan, we talk about getting ourselves into a position where we're trying to get our shoulders to turn. And it just gave me an idea to think, what could we add from a movement standpoint that will help with that shoulder turn? The big thing a lot of us think about as we get into our shoulder turn is trying to turn our chest that way to get ourselves around the corner, and particularly to get into our backswing, we want to get into that driving the chest around the corner. Ironically, what I want to focus on is the opposite shoulder. Quite often we feel quite tight and restricted through the front here. So if you focus on the opposite shoulder and trying to get that shoulder to come around and forward, then the connection that you've got from one side of your chest to the other is going to ask you to turn that corner and get that opposite shoulder away. So a really simple drill to do that. If you grab any of your clubs, I've got my driver here, and I'm going to hold that out at chest height. Now, same as we would addressing the golf ball, I want to rotate around my spine and keep my head facing forward. So I'm going to have nice comfortable stance, same as I would for my address. And then in this position, I want to bring this hand, so I'm taking my left hand and I want to reach my left hand across my body and get my left shoulder to come around the corner with me. Now, as I get into that position, with the grip that I've got on my golf club end to end here, that's pushing my right shoulder around the corner. And what I get to when I get around about here is a lovely stretching sensation through my bicep, the front of my shoulder, and into my chest. So by focusing on reaching this hand around, it's given me a great stretch through my back shoulder or my back arm to help me get that rotation happening. So I can just repeat that nice and slowly. Just rotate around. Oh, got to keep my head facing the front. If as you come around the corner here, you feel a particular amount of restriction, whether it's through your arms, your chest, your shoulder, or down your spine or your rib cage, that's as far as I want you to rotate at that point. That's as far as your body wants you to get around the corner there. And that's perfectly okay. We're working on improving your range of motion and your threshold for movement. So if you rotate and you get to here and you start to feel stretch or tension through your chest, then that's as far as you're rotating. Once you're comfortable there, you can then start to go into your follow through. And again, this time, I want to try and get my chest to turn where I want the ball to go. So I'm going to focus on driving my right shoulder around. And as my right hand comes around, that gives me a nice opening stretch through that left chest and shoulder. And then come back. Now it's interesting for me as I rotate this way. This way is harder to rotate my chest and shoulders, because normally we'd be allowing our hips to turn and getting into that pivot position. So again, keeping your feet nice and flat, just rotate to where you feel comfortable and then come back. So if you repeat that for, say, 10 or 12 repetitions, going each direction, that'll give you a great little mobility exercise to open up through the chest and open up through the back of the shoulder and the arm. Hope that helped, guys. Swing well.